Alright students, let's have a quick review of the sets. Starting with the definition of a set. A set is a collection of well-defined and distinct objects. Now these objects are called elements or members of set, right? So I have written this well-defined in inverted commas because it is of special importance. So let us discuss what does it mean to be a well-defined entity, right? So in sets, when we say that a set is well defined, we mean that if you have a set and an object, then you can clearly decide whether that object belongs to your set or not, right? Then that set will be regarded as a well defined set. Okay, and then there are some sets which are not well defined. For example, feelings of a human being. If you are taking set of feelings just like set of my feelings, if I talk about, you cannot decide what feeling am I going through right now. Okay, so this set is not well defined. I hope so that the idea is clear to you people. Now here I have written some examples for you, and all of these are well defined. Set of English vowels, set of first 10 primes, set of capitals of world countries. Okay, all of these sets are well defined because if you have any object, you can clearly decide whether it belongs to this set or not. Okay, so this is how the word well defined is most important in the definition of set. Now I have an interesting fact for you people, and the fact is that the word set has the largest number of definitions in English language. Precisely speaking, more than 400. Okay, this is a word with most definitions in an English dictionary. You can search this on Google as well. Next, we are going to talk about the concept of belong to. So if an object is in a set, we say that that object belongs to that set. And mathematically, if an object A is in a set A, we write it as A belongs to A. Here the symbol is actually standing for belong to. Okay. Next, we are going to talk about two properties of sets. The first one is order doesn't matter. In sets, order of elements doesn't matter. You have the set which includes 3 elements 1 2 3, and then you have another set which includes the same 3 elements but in different order. So these two sets are still same, they are not different. Okay, order of elements in which they are written does not matter in sets. Okay, the second important characteristic is repetition is not allowed. Okay, I have given you an example here. If you consider set of ages of students of class, chances are that there will be cases of 2 or more students having same age. This is quite possible. The rule is that even such recordings or observations will be written only once. Okay, if you have 3 students of age 12, you are not going to write it like 12 12 12. No, it will be written only once. Okay, so this is also characteristic of the sets. Then we are going to talk about the order or cardinality of a set. Okay, so the number of elements in a set is known as order or cardinality of that set. Okay, this is known as the order or cardinality, and the notation for this is either you can use this notation or this notation, both are same. Here we have an example for this. We have a set with elements 1 3 5 7. As you can see that there are 4 elements, so the cardinality, or you can say the order of A, is 4. Okay, and on the basis of order or cardinality, there are 2 types of sets as follows. One is finite sets and the other are infinite sets. If you take this set, it is a finite set. Why? Because we can count its number of elements. Its cardinality will be a finite number. Okay, But if you have a set, let's say you have the set of naturals, then it starts with 1 2 3, and I hope so you know that it never ends. So this set is an infinite set where the number of elements cannot be counted, or you can say where the elements are going on and on, they are not stopping anywhere. Okay, and now we are going to talk about the ways in which a set can be described. So there are three ways of writing a set. The first one is descriptive form. In this method, in this form, we describe a set in words using the characteristic property of a set. Okay, keep this in your mind that every set has a characteristic property by which we define it, and that property is the one which is actually deciding whether an object will belong to that set or not. Okay, so if you have a set of first and natural numbers, either you can write it like this in words. This will be known as the descriptive form, descriptive method. And then you have the tabular form. In this form, all elements are written together, separated by commas, and are placed between braces. Okay, so the same set, with set of first and natural numbers, if you write it in tabular form, you will write it like this. Okay, and then there is another form, and that is known as the set builder form. If you have to describe the same set, we will write it as A is equal to X when X belongs to set of natural number and X is less than or equal to 10. This is how set builder form works. You might ask that this is quite complex, but when we are dealing with infinite sets, then this comes in very handy. Okay, so this is quite useful in some problems. So these are the three ways in which you can write a